Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Career Therapy Live. My name is Martin McGovern. We are joined today by Build with June. Can't wait to bring her onto the stream. Get your brown liquid drugs ready, and let's get into it.
I'm too old for this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Story-eyed, it's no surprise. Things went wrong. What was I thinking, babe? All the mistakes I made.
June, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. Cheers,
Cheers.
my friend.
Hey, look at you in the reflection here. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find your live on my LinkedIn. I hate that I don't get notifications.
It doesn't notify you anymore?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's weird.
That's like the whole best part of going live is that it notifies everyone in the world.
It doesn't. I don't think it does.
It did at one point. I was getting people that I never expected. It looks like we have some folks also. Say hi in the comments if you're joining the stream. Hope you're all doing well this morning. Yeah, when I first started going live, I think it was like right when it launched. And
last year, right?
Yeah, last year, and yeah, everyone was getting notified. I was back in the suburbs one day visiting my family, and he was never actually my teacher. I took a how to get a job seminar with him at DePaul, and he led the honors marketing program, which I decided not to do in order to do a design minor.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, so this guy who lives by my parents and worked at my college was like, I was like walking the dog, and he's like, hey, LinkedIn. I was like, hey, good to see you. He's like,
so
it's been a few years. How you doing?
You're like famous now. You're being recognized in the streets.
I know, I'm being recognized in the street. It's hilarious. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to share this on my LinkedIn. I wish we could somehow figure out if we could stream on both accounts.
Yeah, it said that we couldn't stream to multiple LinkedIns at the same time. Unfortunately, I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is there. But what we could do, here's something we could do. We could, if we want to host one for you, we could stream it on my YouTube and your LinkedIn.
Ooh.
Maybe that'll work. And just do an add-on. I'd be happy to do that. If that's, well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah. How are you doing this morning?
I'm okay. We were talking about, I woke up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Thinking, and I haven't done that in a while, thinking about the laundry list of things I need to do for my business.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to my intern yesterday, and these are the different things that I want to focus on when it comes to email marketing, focusing on expanding my presence on YouTube, start having time to write blogs again.
Yeah. A lot of goals.
A lot of goals. I really want to focus on like evergreen content because I'm focusing so much on content on LinkedIn, but your content gets buried in the feed.
Yeah.
So, and then also too working. Oh, I didn't update you. I finally registered my business as an LLC.
Whoa. Bravo. Congrats to you.
So it's official.
You move fast. It took me over a year to get my LLC set up.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you doing? Working?
Just contract, just
1099?
Yeah, just 1099s with all the different companies, and then just taking all the revenue and just paying. I have an accountant, so he was doing whatever he was doing. And then I was like, I should probably incorporate. He's like, yeah, sure. I mean, he's like, it really only helps so that you don't get sued.
Exactly.
Like, okay, well, I don't want to get sued, so, or I want to be protected if I get sued, so let's do it.
Yeah, you want to protect all of your personal assets. And
yeah, one thing I noticed though while I was doing it is when they say, do you want to be a co or an inc or any of those things, I was like, inc sounds better, and I just chose inc, and I thought it was just like,
no, it's incorporated. It's like
yep. No, it means a totally different thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, I was so tired while I was doing it, and I was just like, ink sounds better. And then I was like, oh, I incorporated as like a totally different entity. I should have paid more attention while I was doing that. It all turned out fine, and it's what I wanted to do at the end of the day.
Wait, did you switch it back?
No, I'm an S corp, so
Okay.
it's all good at the end of the day. It's what I wanted to do long term anyway. I had a mini freak out, and I called my accountant. I was like, "Did I do this right?" And he's like, "You're fine. Don't worry about it."
That's so funny.
Yeah.
One of my jobs was actually before I got into recruiting is I worked at a bank. I was a business banker.
Oh yeah.
And it was just I kind of had like a deja vu moment because I used to be the one opening business
Oh
accounts
really?
and
Interesting.
helping my clients register for their LLC and giving them information. And
Well,
here I
maybe you
am.
can tell me why it costs so dang much to get a book of checks. What the
I
hell?
forget how much it costs. Oh my god.
I was like,
It was
oh,
like $18, I think, for a book of checks.
I looked it up, and maybe I'm looking at the wrong place, but it was like $120 for checks, and I was like, "Are you joking my ass? This is ridiculous." I was like, "This is outrageous." So, personal checks are free from Schwab, but apparently Chase is wanting that dough.
That's right. That's where I worked. But who uses checks still? My husband used checks.
I had to put a down payment on the new
That's
office space, and I was like, I don't know how to do this virtually. So it's like above a tattoo shop. It's hilarious. It's the best
my
place
gosh.
ever. I'm like sitting in the what?
Your office is?
Yeah. So down the street. So for anyone who's watching, we're just going. But I got an office space that I'm moving into this Sunday because the working from home is just getting a little too cramped. And it's above a tattoo shop down the street from me called Royal Flesh, which is the weirdest name. But it's, I don't know, the people that work there are really cool. And the guy who owns it like is never around. So the guy who runs the tattoo shop is the one that like manages the property.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Anyway, so really funny. And I'm going to be like, just chilling above a tattoo shop every day, doing my live streams and whatnot.
You should go ahead and get a tattoo.
I have been going back and forth on wanting a tattoo forever. I have it like all planned out, but then I like get gun shy at the last.
Oh wait, so you don't have any?
No tattoos yet. Do you have a tattoo?
I do, and I regret it.
What?
It was, I don't know if you remember, but the whole tramp stamps.
Uh-huh.
I have one of those.
Nice.
Gosh.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's like TMI. But no, me and my best friend got tattoos together at a tattoo shop in Berkeley.
That's hilarious and awesome.
And I remember, and I'm like, gosh darn it, I should have gotten a tattoo where I could at least enjoy it or see it.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
And
yeah,
don't get a tramp stamp.
I mean, I was planning to. That was my go-to first choice. No, I was thinking of getting it like on my chest here, like by the collarbone. I actually went to the point of like, there's websites where you can design a tattoo and they send you like a fake one to test out. And it did not look good. So it didn't move forward. I was like, all right, that idea doesn't look right. I'm glad I didn't commit to that. And
that's so funny.
Yeah.
I wish they did that back then, where you could design your own tattoo and then get like a...
Well, sometimes procrastination pays off because new technologies come out.
I know, exactly.
But I took us way off point here. You had trouble sleeping last night. So tell me about your laundry list of to-dos and how you're maybe struggling to manage it like we all are.
Well, what actually got me through it, I think we talked about it, is I couldn't sleep. And then I just started to journal. I have a new gratitude journal somewhere here. And that has writing prompts. And I was trying to focus on what I was grateful for. But some of the things that I'm trying to accomplish is, I have a great presence on LinkedIn, but now I need to work on like evergreen content and creating informative articles and blogs on my website. and then also do email marketing and also expanding my presence on YouTube because I create all this video content on LinkedIn. And then we talked about how it just gets buried in the feed. So I want to make sure that my clients and potential people that want to learn a little bit more about me and my experience and what I can do for them and help them with their careers and job search, they could have access to that content without trying to find it on LinkedIn's feed.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I'm trying to also too launching a program too, like a group coaching program. I do want to
Yeah.
offer digital products eventually, hopefully soon. But I did decide. I think we talked about last how I decided to outsource some help.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm more like a visionary. I like to create things
Yeah.
when it comes to like the back end stuff as far as process and systems and like CRMs and all that. I hate doing that stuff. I hate figuring things out. I just want someone to do it for me and set it up for me.
Yeah.
How
Fair
do you
enough.
feel about that? Like, how was your
Yeah. I don't.
experience with all that when you started?
Yeah. I mean, my experience is I'm probably missing out on a ton of opportunities because I don't do everything perfectly, and I'm just kind of trying to come to terms with that. Like, be all right with one of the things that I talk to folks about, because it can be very easy to be like, everyone should be a content creator and everyone should create a brand and I agree that everyone should have a brand, their reputation, but more than like a company and things like that, relying on a company. But I think sometimes I'm realizing that people are at like vastly different places, and I have to remember that I'm not at the place where I maybe need to be doing everything. Like, I've got enough work
Mhm.
to take up all my time during the week. I have enough clients and revenue to like not worry about paying bills, and everything that I can do above and beyond that is great. But I'm hopefully going to be working on my presence, let's call it, right? My online presence for years and years and
Yeah,
decades,
like
right?
long term.
Right. And
Mhm.
so I'm trying not to I almost feel like when I start trying to get good at things, like obviously I'm always trying to get better every day, but if I'm like there's this one YouTube channel I'm watching right now. And it's this guy Josh Fluke, and he's very blunt with his like perspectives on career and job search and things like that. And he's like not a career coach, but he has career products, and it's a pretty interesting channel. And he'll say things that most coaches won't say. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I should go make some like really raw content, like
Contact,
because like
yeah.
he's doing it well, and I have to keep stopping myself and being like, no, just do what you do, like stick with what you do and let it grow organically. And I think like remembering that I'm not trying to be a full-time YouTuber. I'm
Yeah.
trying to capture what I'm doing on YouTube. And I'm not trying to become a streamer. I'm trying to have a stream so I can connect with people.
Yeah.
And like keeping my goals in mind is helping me not get caught up in things. Now, everything can be done better, and I can be working on my email list, and I can be working on my social media profiles. Like, I'm not even on uh, Instagram at all right now, like on any of my channels. Like, I don't have it on my phone or anything. And I know I'm missing out. I know I'm like not building my reputation there, and I'm like not doing a whole bunch of things. But I'm also like, if I start doing that now, if I was doing Instagram right now, I would not have time to do my client work or do my
Yeah, yeah.
coaching work and things like that. Apparently we have some sort of echo going on.
Um, hello? Is there an echo? Can you guys hear that echo? I think it's on your end.
It's on my end. Let me I'll June take over. I'll be back.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hi everyone. Is there an echo still? Hello. So Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Martin and June.
I just wanted to do that. So I don't know if there's still an echo or not,
I don't think
but
there is.
um, no
No
echo.
echo. Okay.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, so that's kind of my view on it. And
well, yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing. You're at a different point than I am,
mhm,
level. I mean, you have your client work. I have a few clients, and I started today. I'm sitting, so I'm expanding my business to also doing workshops, and I just
mhm,
got hired by a boot camp to do workshops. I feel like I'm following your path that you started a year ago when you started your business. And I'm just in building mode, but I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of my time and energy of like with content creation. And I do my content in the morning, right? But I want to get to a point where I plan everything and do more of like a content calendar.
mhm.
But for some reason, I just like to. I think on the fly. I'm just like I don't
Well,
know.
shouldn't we be leaning into what we naturally do? Like, if you think on the fly, creating a content calendar might slow down your content creation.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel that way, or what are your thoughts?
I think in my I've tried doing a content calendar. And I worked with a coach, and she's advised me you should just pick one day out of the week where you're just creating content for like an hour. Like I'll write all your captions for the week,
Mhm,
which some people do. But for me, like I mentioned, I like to write on the. I get easily inspired, and sometimes with my posts, it's based on how I'm feeling that day or
mhm.
from previous experiences that I just think of
Yeah.
naturally, so it's very organic. It's hard for me just to be in a room when I'm just gonna write captions all day for LinkedIn.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't feel like that's I feel like a lot of coaching is reacting and, like
Aw.
and figuring out, like, when things happen, how do you react, and then how do you share what you've learned from that experience in a constructive way, and, like, you know, I like to think of coaching more like improv than sketch comedy.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you said that.
And so, I mean, that helps me not stress out as much. I used to script videos when I was working at Udacity. I had every week I would script. I would on Monday I would write the script. On Tuesday I would edit it. On Wednesday I would film it. On Thursday I would edit the video, and then on Friday I would post every week for like months. And I go back and watch those videos, and I'm like, they're fine. Like, they look like every other career coach video that exists on the internet of like a talking head giving your 5 points to do a resume. But there's no person like I feel like I'm missing a lot of my personality, and I feel like I'm missing the
When it's scripted.
yeah, I like it's I almost don't like the sanded edges.
Mhm.
I like it when it's more raw and like just kind of
Yes.
real.
Well, that's how my content is. It's very real, very raw. I embrace all of like I don't know if you've seen I do like the whole blooper reel.
Yeah, yeah. I like that stuff.
But it was focusing on the messaging because the blooper video that I shared was talking about practice makes progress, practice
Mhm.
makes perfect, and here I am just like messing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, being interrupted
But
by kids and all sorts of stuff.
yeah, but people got the message, and for me, it's like I'm not your average career coach,
Yeah.
and I think that's why people really resonate with my content. But I think too, I actually stopped recording videos because I rather just do live. I think I talked to you about this because
Mhm.
when it's live, it's like just so organic and natural. When I get my camera and my ring light and I'm trying to get in like production mode,
Yeah.
I stumble with my words.
Yeah. Especially and, like, when I was scripting things, it was like I could go back and watch the quote unquote bloopers, but it's just me going like trying to read. Like, I had a piece of paper and I would look down, read it, look up, say it, look down, read it, look up, say it, and then I would cut all the gaps out. And it's just like almost robotic in a way. And then like with this YouTube channel I'm watching, like the YouTube channels I'm drawn to are the ones where someone's just sitting on a sofa talking for an hour and a half. Like,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
like,
just like
and
having
I
a
just,
conversation.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I just put it on and listen to it. And like some of the channels I watch, they don't edit anything, and it's just stream of
Oh, I love
consciousness.
that.
Some it's like stream of consciousness, but they cut out the spaces and they put in some fun things and like noises and things. But like for the most part, it's just people chatting. I love podcasts. I love long form
Yeah.
content. And so that's like, again, I think it's as a business owner, it's very, and even as a job seeker, it's very easy to like look at what everyone is doing all over the place and just be like, I need to do all of it today. And that, like, I'm still even trying to get some of my people to just comment on people's posts. Like, hey,
Yeah.
can you just go thank someone for
Yeah.
being like, for like making of it, like for creating something that you liked? And they're like, oh, I don't know if I can comment on videos. It's like, okay, well, uh, if we can't comment on a video, you're definitely not going to write a Medium article. So,
No. Yeah. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. This is what I was looking forward to talking about because now it's making me realize that I don't need to do everything.
yeah.
And I'm just really going to similar to what you're doing, like you do your live stream, it's also on YouTube. And then you have your podcasts that's also on YouTube that people can access. So what my goal is with YouTube is just basically repurposing my content on
Hmm.
LinkedIn and just putting it there. And then
Yeah. It's like an archive in a way.
yes.
Um, Now, if somehow I get tons of followers, then I have to probably start creating content to like fulfill that need. But I mean, the goal of the business is to make revenue from coaching,
Yeah.
not make revenue from content. Now, that might it would be great for the content to pay for itself. And actually, I was talking with I started reaching out to people and being like, hey, would you be open to sponsoring, like being an advertiser on the podcast? And I had my first conversation about that yesterday with a cognitive behavioral therapy company. And like halfway through the conversation, we were like talking through my stats, and I was like, my stats are really low. I was like, I've got, I mean, I've grown a lot in a year. Like I hit 200 subscribers yesterday, and
Great.
which is great. And I was like gunning for that. I was like, I'm gonna hit 200. I can't wait. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna get there. And then this morning I was journaling and I wrote, wow, for the past week I've been gunning to hit 200 subscribers, and I hit it yesterday, and I didn't feel anything. I was like, okay, next
Oh
thing,
my
I
gosh.
guess.
That's so
So
funny.
yeah, and so like we'll see if they're interested. It'll probably either they won't do it or it'll be like, just a few bucks a month. But
I mean, it's something.
yeah,
But yeah, you can have multiple sponsors.
and it's about like trying to figure out how to even do sponsors. Like I just don't even know how to do it. So
Yeah.
I'd rather have the conversation and have it go nowhere than not have the conversation. And
No,
like
exactly.
and yeah, if this could pay for itself someday, that'd be cool. But
For
right now it's
sure.
all just organic marketing, right?
Well, I also want to touch on too, the reason why I do so much content is because that's how I get my clients
Yeah.
and that's how I get my collaborations. Like this is how we met.
Yeah. 100%.
And so that's why I'm spending energy on there because I do see the ROI on the content creation on my part.
Huge.
But huge, right? But now it's just a matter of just balancing my days where I have theme days where I'm doing content creation, client calls. Um, that's another thing that we should talk about offline. It's like the
Sure.
discovery calls.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's like the
um,
big thing. Every single discovery call I have, people are like, "Oh, I watched your live stream or I listened to your podcast."
yes.
And like that as a business owner, your personal brand and like this is where I struggle. I'm like my whole personal brand is career therapy and I'm doing nothing for my actual like self, right? On my own channel. Should I go create content for my personal channel? And like I always have
Well,
these
why
like
can't you just
existential
integrate
crises.
your personal brand with that's what I do. I integrate my personal brand with my business. I
Yeah, well, it technically is, right? My personal brand is entirely wrapped up in the business. And then I'm like, the last day or two, I've been like, I want to talk about anxiety and how it affects other parts. Like I cracked my tooth from grinding my teeth at night because I'm so anxious. This is over years. This isn't like one night I just cracked it. It just like slowly happened. And so I got my tooth fixed 2 days ago. And I was like, that would be a fun video, but that doesn't fit anywhere in career therapy. And like to talk about that, like how anxiety just always sits in the background, kind of eating. I don't know if you have anxiety, but I have really
No,
bad
I have
anxiety.
anxiety. I
Yeah.
do.
And so like there's certain things that I'm like would be a little more personal or a little less career related. Like I wouldn't want to make a video about like anxiety and like things that I'm going through and then like have to weasel it into a career conversation somehow.
Okay.
And that's what I'm thinking with the personal brand. Cause I'm thinking personal brand is like 80-year like mindset versus like
Yeah.
coaching is like, hey, we're talking about very specific things. And at least I try to, I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. That makes sense.
And we also were chatting about, well, I know we only have a few minutes left here, but how are you doing with the sort of being on your own and not in an office when it comes to like all these different things?
Well, yeah, I think I was talking about how I do. It's this life of an entrepreneur, small business owner could definitely get lonely. I do miss, I spent the last 5, 6 years working on teams, working within tech industries, and I miss the collaboration with my coworkers. And I was part of a few, like for example, at my previous company, I was part of the diversity and inclusion committee and council, where we were planning different events for the company to support these different initiatives for DNI. And it's lonely, and I miss that. I miss having like team weekly meetings. I miss having lunch with my coworkers, happy hours. But I think with, what's beneficial with LinkedIn is I've expanded my network and created friendships with other coaches, and I feel like they're my coworkers.
Yeah.
So leaning on them at any times where I feel frustrated, where I hit a wall. And I mean, I'm going to be real with you. There's been times where I'm like, maybe I should just go back to work
Yeah.
and just get that steady paycheck,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the thought every entrepreneur has.
and because I don't know, but I don't know. I'm going to commit to this. And I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go back to work,
Well, I've
but
gone back and forth. I was
okay.
doing contract coaching for like 6 months. And then one of my contracts was like, hey, do you want to come on full time? And I was like, sure, that's a good salary. Let's do it. And then I was like, wow, I could really see myself here for 5 years. Like I've never thought about that with a company before. I've never thought I could actually see myself working here, like moving up the ranks. And then they had layoffs and then I lost my job.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, all right, well, okay, back to contracting. And it's one of those things where now I'm like, I have a client list, so I don't want to lose my clients. Like I lost all my clients when I went full time, and then I got some of them back, but not all of them back. And that's where it's like the trade off for me of like bouncing back and forth too often could be bad.
yeah.
But like in the back of my head, there's always this thought of like, if there's a great full time opportunity that like really fits and pays well and is like what would be right, I wouldn't necessarily, or at least I would consider it. Let's say, I think entrepreneurship is awesome, and I'm always going to do career therapy in some way, shape, or form. It'll always be my like long term, always thing. But there might be periods where I go back full time if
Yeah.
needed, or at least at this point in my journey, I'm open to it. And so, yeah, I think that's definitely a thought that I've had for sure. So I hope,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at too. But I'm not in a rush right now. But I
Hmm.
maybe I want my dream would be having an opportunity to work for a company, but that will still allow me to have this business where
Yes.
there's no
Yeah.
conflict, where there's no
No,
conflict of interest.
no, I can't work anywhere that doesn't let me have a side hustle.
Yeah.
I've had companies say, we're not really into that. And I'm always just like, well, I'm still going to do it. So then I guess you don't want me. Like, moving on. But I mean, it sounds like you've got a lot of really cool stuff going on. I'm super curious, like, is there like a metric you're trying to move? Like, you have a lot of ideas, but what's the metric you're trying to ratchet up? Is it the consultation calls? Is it the bookings? Is it
Oh,
the
no,
like
yeah.
school like workshops? Like, what's the metric
Well,
you're
the
chasing?
main, and we're at time right now, but what the metric is, like, I do, like, probably maybe between 5 to 8 discovery calls a week.
Mm-hmm.
I do have that signature coaching program, which 8-week coaching program, but then, I do also have different services where I help clients with their LinkedIn optimization and resume building and job search
Mm-hmm.
strategy. Um, so those are my metrics. But also too, I've been really enjoying doing these workshops.
Yeah.
So if I could have at least 2 to 3 workshops a month, thank you.
Yeah.
2 to 3 workshops a month, then I'll be set. Like,
Cool.
having that as, like, a steady income.
And where do you do the workshops?
So I'm doing one today with Level Up in Tech, which is a boot camp for
Mm-hmm.
devs, ops, engineering, cloud engineering. So I'm doing a workshop with them for resume, interview, and LinkedIn. And then I also got contracted by a local community college.
Very cool. Very
So
cool.
I'm hoping to get more opportunities with schools.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to talk with you a little bit more about that offline. But I
Yes.
know we're over time here, so I'll wrap it up. But hang on, I wanna keep chatting.
Okay.
All right, just a second. Uh, Thanks for joining us this
Thank
morning,
you,
Gina,
guys.
and we'll see you all tomorrow. All right, everyone. We will see you bright and early tomorrow. It's Friday the 30th. We're wrapping up this month on a high note. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm too old for this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Story-eyed, it's no surprise. Things went wrong. What was I thinking, babe? All the mistakes I made.